So today we'll be talking about a very important topic to us. It took a while before we decided to come out and share this story.
Mm.
Excuse me. Yes, we want to talk about why we left Nigeria.
Hmm.
you know,
Um,
it, it's not every day you come out and share this kind of story, but we said that today we'll come and tell everybody why we left our beloved country, Nigeria.
are you sure we can finish that story in one day?
Actually,
Because there are many sides to that story. So I think today we'll just talk about one aspect of it, why we left,
yeah,
and subsequently we'll discuss the other sides to it because it's a very, very long story. And this one video cannot capture it all.
yeah,
Yeah. So, which
yeah.
one?
I think we should start with the first one. The first one on the list is insecurity.
Okay. Hmm.
I, you know,
Hmm.
and I think insecurity. Do you remember some of the horrible experiences we had?
Insecurity.
Before we get to the Lekki protest,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do you remember
Hmm.
times that we have almost been robbed?
Yes, let me start. Let me start on that one. I still remember that horrible experience we had the day I walked till 12 midnight. Do you remember? You were waiting for me.
Yeah,
I was in the office till 12 midnight.
yeah.
That's another story for another day. Why I was in the office till 12 midnight. Anyways, but I was in the office. And I left. I work in a market branch on the island. So I left and you came to meet me, and I was about 8 months pregnant. Was that Chinemera or Amara?
Watching
All
the
right. So that
first.
was, imagine, my first pregnancy. Okay. And that was how that we didn't drive that day. And
No, we
luckily,
didn't drive.
or did we leave our
We
car?
we
Did
didn't
we?
drive, so we decided to take a cab.
Yeah, we decided to take a cab.
So and luckily we took the old what they call those type of yellow cab.
Yeah,
Those old Lagos yellow
were we
cabs.
lucky, or was that what we saw by that time?
I'm not
That
sure,
was what
but
we
that was what we
found.
saw. So we just
Yeah,
took the old one Baba,
yeah.
that was
Old
driving and
guy.
took us. Yeah, and on our way back we went through
No,
Apapa.
no, no.
Okay,
Hold on,
go.
hold on.
Okay, tell the story. You
Don't
can
be
tell the story
faster than
better.
your shot.
Yeah.
So I remember
mm,
that was how my husband called. We
mm.
started at trying to okay, which way we
Should
asked the
we
Baba.
go? Yeah.
Baba said we should take. Was it Baba said a Papa? Baba suggested a Papa,
I think
right?
he suggested
Yeah,
Papa,
Baba suggested a
and you
Papa
didn't want us to.
that
So.
Papa will be free and we'll
Mm,
get home first. I said, Baba,
mm,
nothing takes me to a Papa. Nothing, because I've had my own other stories about a Papa, before I got married.
mm.
Okay. I've had incidences on that road where I met robbery incidences. So I told myself that I'll never pass a Papa. So my mama said, don't worry, Papa is sure. Let's go. I said, a Papa. I told myself I'll never pass through a Papa. Anyway, we left the men. Majority carried the vote because it was 2 against 1. And of course, you know that in Nigeria, it's always a man's word. Abi? That's what we say. It's a man's word. Yeah. So I agreed. And we started going towards Apapa. So what happened? We passed Apapa. Well, nothing happened on Apapa. We got on mile 2.
Mm.
That was where the drama started. Do you remember the drama? You don't remember? I should help you.
I want I want to confess. I'm not sure I've recovered from that trauma.
Okay.
Anytime I think about it, I feel I start reacting as if I'm still in that incident. So even right now, I just started feeling that way because it was a horrible experience.
All right. So,
It was a horrible
do you want me to
experience. Yeah,
continue
so
that
continue.
story? Yeah.
Continue. Yeah.
So, you know, all the stories that they write, usually put on the paper, it happened to me. It happened to me. Anyway, so my husband was walking with his phone
Yeah.
in the night
In traffic.
in traffic. And when we got on a papa on the bridge, I think the light of the phone might have attracted them.
Mm.
And next thing, two guys, right? About two guys, they came to our car and they started knocking on our window.
Mm.
I think they asked for your phone.
Yeah,
Or
they
asked
said
for,
they give us that phone. And
yeah,
like,
they
for
asked for his phone and you quickly threw it down.
yeah, threw it down and like,
Yeah,
who are
you know,
you? Yeah.
reflex. So he threw it down, you know, and they were dragging the car,
No,
the
not that
door.
Not that
Yeah,
they were
you know,
dragging the door. Not that they,
you know, they will usually touch
yeah,
the door
yeah,
because
touch
they
the door,
expect
yeah,
that the door will be
open.
open.
Yeah, but
Did
it
you
was
quickly
locked.
put it down, or was it Baba?
It was locked, and
Okay,
we made sure, in traffic, we usually make sure
all
the doors
right.
are locked.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
so
they were, they were following us. So Baba,
mm,
I think Baba is Yoruba. So Baba
yeah.
started speaking to
No, no,
them.
no, 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 no. Baba was still, on his own side.
Yeah,
So
no, but Baba.
what happened to me was, when the guy just blew smoke in my face
Hmm.
because there was a little hole. So he blew smoke and I was startled and like, give us that thing. So I quickly threw the phone down and
Yeah.
like, what's your problem? The guy now brought out a pistol,
Did you see that?
shiny pistol.
Well,
Yeah,
at this time,
and
at
you know,
this time, I was already a
to be,
dead.
to be honest, I seen that pistol. I don't know what happened, but I brought out my umbrella and and showed him the metal part of the umbrella. I just pointed it to him.
Okay, I didn't even see that gun,
Yeah, so I saw the
because
gun.
I was on this
He
side.
showed me the shiny pistol he
At
had.
this time, what do they call that thing? I was not going to we were like
And as he was talking, I was scared, but for you, because I wasn't sure.
I was
I wasn't
already
sure what you
my
were gonna
reaction,
do. Yeah.
my reaction, I was at this time, I was
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah. So
I didn't know.
I wasn't sure what you were gonna do.
Yeah.
And at some point, you were threatening to open
Yeah,
the
I was
door.
trying to open the door. So
And
Baba,
and you know what? There was another guy on your
on the other
side, but you didn't know.
I didn't know.
So when I saw this guy was a threat, I just knew that there'll be another person on that side.
Okay.
And as I looked, I saw the other guy who was on this
I
side.
didn't see him.
So yeah, you were trying to open, and he
Open the
was
door.
on that side.
Yeah.
But I think the door was locked, so you couldn't open it. And so the guys were just walking around, and
As I'm telling
at that time,
as I'm telling this story, I feel like it's happening to me right now,
yeah,
because
it's traumatic.
honestly, I was traumatized.
So at that time, that was when Baba now stopped the car
Okay.
and came out.
Oh, did Baba come
Yeah,
out?
Baba came out and started talking to them in Yoruba.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Because
he stopped. He came out and started speaking Yoruba.
I remember
to them.
that Baba was talking to them, but
No,
I didn't know
stopped.
he came out.
He stopped. He stopped the car and came out.
Came out.
And started speaking
Yeah,
Yoruba.
so what I
local.
remember was that
Yeah.
Baba was telling them that I'm carrying a pregnant woman.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Please.
He was talking to them that, can they see that this is a pregnant woman? And
Yeah, Baba was begging them.
So but they were still pacing around, trying to see how to come into the car. Then their attention shifted. In front of us, there was a guy who had a jeep,
Okay.
a
Yeah, that's
Lexus
true.
jeep, and
That's true. You
that
really
a couple were
remember.
in front.
Oh, and they moved to that.
So they moved to the car and noticed that there was a briefcase, in the car. So when they came to the site, of course, they wound up, but we were in traffic and traffic wasn't moving. So they used that pistol and smashed the glass of the car. So the man surrendered, gave them briefcase, gave them all the
Oh yeah,
phones
you
and
really
everything.
remember because
So a
at
bike
this
came and they entered their bike and
and
they moved
zoomed off. Okay, so
and they zoomed off.
that's true. That was what
So
happened.
when that happened in
Yeah,
front of us,
because I
you
remember
you 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 walk
I
you climb into the driver's side or bypass side and open the passenger in
and
front.
I left
Yeah, and you stepped out. So
and I
I
stepped
followed
out.
I followed you, so we came out of the car. And instead of being in the car, we now stood by the side. And the funny thing, we walked a few steps and we saw police there. The police were actually just by the side, may possibly watching all these things, and they didn't do anything. Um,
Yeah,
it's
so it's
when I remember this thing, it's just traumatic and crazy.
yeah,
I
that's
still feel the
one of the
shivers, and I'm just thinking that what if something just went wrong? What if just what if they shot? I just can't imagine. I just as in whenever I remember this, I just try to blank
yeah.
myself and blank my mind. These are some of the horrible experiences we had. Do you remember another one that we were coming back at night after work?
Yeah.
And I was driving through. Is it okay, Aaron? Yeah.
Oh yes.
And
And
as you were driving, and something
something
happened, you were in the passenger seat, and the car was not locked.
yeah. For
The
some
for the
reason it
next
wasn't
thing, I
locked.
was the one who pressed that thing, and immediately I pressed it. You know,
Somebody pulled the door
somebody
from my side.
somebody ran across the road in front of me.
Yeah.
You know,
And pulled my
to block.
side.
So I moved. I knew he was trying to block me, so I ran fast, threatening to knock him down. He moved that side and just
Dragged my side of
yeah, the door.
of the
And
door,
that was
and you
just
had
the time
just
I had just
closed
looked.
it. It was
Yeah,
just at
I
about
used
the
automatic. I
time.
used the automatic to block it. So I was
Yeah.
like, the guy.
Yeah,
dragged the door.
it was like it happened simultaneously.
Yeah, simultaneously.
Just at the time you were locking the door, his hands were
hand
at
was
the
there.
door, so he couldn't open
the
it.
door. So it's just crazy.
Are you forgetting the
It's
one?
just crazy.
Are you forgetting the one that happened? Okay, oh wait, let's not even forget this one. So another incident, my own story was that day. Then I was working on at Obalende. At this time, I think we resorted to taking a public transport.
Yeah, because of the traffic. Yeah,
the traffic. Once we're in traffic,
just forget
you
it.
don't know what's gonna happen. So we stopped driving and we started taking public transport. So around that Orile axis,
yeah,
there was traffic, and I decided to get down. And you
so
can't believe what happened. The day before this day, I had just taken out all my important documents from my bag. And yeah, I think your laptop. Yeah, so I had just taken out some important documents from my bag, including some property documents and my
Your
international passport.
Yeah.
Just the day before this thing happened. So as I got down from Orili and I was just walking with everybody, and you can't believe it, this is a very busy road. Everybody is walking. That was how, before I knew it, somebody dragged me from the other side of the bush. There was this bush.
The side of the road, is a bit bushy. And consistently there, they rob people.
That was how
they rob people. They just hide and they, drag people.
I just saw myself. I just saw myself going down. Going down into where I didn't know, because sometimes they actually drag people
over across into the bush,
and that will happen if you're trying to resist
them.
So I just had to let go of my bag. So next thing, I just found myself without a bag. They had taken my bag, my iPad, and other things, my phones and everything, my wallet. So I had nothing on me. And I was just confused because I hadn't experienced this thing before. I think I used to hear about it, but it hadn't happened to me. So honestly, I was just confused. I was just thinking, so how do I get home? They've taken my wallet, they've taken everything I have. And a lady who quickly understood what happened to me. Everyone was just, Lagos now, nobody is waiting for you. So one lady just put 100 naira in my hand and said, so sorry, just take this money. And that was how I got on a bus. I was still very dazed by the time I go home. Did I? What did when I go? When I go home,
Yeah, you were.
I
You were.
couldn't
You were
even tell.
shocked. You
I
were
couldn't
just
tell the
shocked.
story. I just took
You were
my
just
bath.
shocked.
I
Yeah.
went to bed. I didn't even have dinner
You
that day.
just
I
shocked.
just went
You
to
were
bed.
just shocked.
I don't think I spoke to you about
Yeah.
it
You.
until
You
the
were.
next day.
You were quiet. You were just
Yeah, because
on
I
your
was
own.
dazed. I was just in shock. Are
You
you
know.
forgetting your own?
Yes.
On
My
Ara?
my own. This was the last working day of a particular year. Christmas.
Oh my
You've
god.
worked so much at work, and then this was the last working day in that year. So the
Yeah.
rest of the days would be holiday till the next year. I was tired. I stayed back late and finished work, and I was coming back in public transport. So I was just lost, in thoughts. And
Yeah.
I didn't even have my phone on. It was just something. A message came in, and I just opened it out, and it was about the time the bus was stopping at a bus stop. That bus stop is where these hoodlums, pretend to be passengers, and they just stand there, as the crowd, and they rob cars and all that. So my bus stop there. While my bus stop, I had my, office bag with my office laptop, wallet stuff. Even a cousin of mine uh, got got his Mastercard. He had he banked with a bank in the US, and they sent his Mastercard and stuff. So I got it to send it down to him.
Yeah.
So different stuff. So I I was just there. The next thing, somebody dragged my hand and took my phone. That force got me off
Off the
balance. Oh
bus.
yeah, off the bus. And before
Of course,
I
the
knew,
bus zoomed off, right?
yeah.
They didn't
So
even
before
they didn't
before
even
I knew,
notice
the bus
someone was
just,
pulled down.
not that they didn't notice. The driver moved for safety.
Oh,
So
okay. They
before I
knew
knew,
they knew that they dragged you down.
yeah. So before I knew it, I was just surrounded by hoodlums. So they had, and they all had machetes. So they took my laptop, took everything. One of them was, hitting me with machete, and I told him that you've taken everything. So what do you want? What again do you want? He looked at my watch and took my watch, and was now trying to search me and all that. So I told him, man, you've taken everything. What do you? So this is just crazy. I walked across, and I tried to look out for some of them. I tried to see if I could negotiate with them to get back my stuff.
Negotiate with
Yeah,
who?
yeah. I
You
wanted to
want to
ask them.
negotiate with the robber?
I
So
wanted to ask some of them to lead me to
your
their
phone you.
whatever their kingpin. Like, how much would I give them to get my stuff back?
Which stuff?
So the
You
one
mean
I
the laptop?
my bag or whatever.
They will even
but
collect. Did you still
what
have
what I
money on you?
what I was after was my laptop, my
Yeah.
work laptop. I just couldn't imagine my work laptop going and all that. So the particular guy I met also had a machete, and he was threatening to hurt me, threatening
Sorry,
to
you
kill
mean
me.
you went to them and you
I
saw
found
one of them?
I saw some of them, and so that one was threatening to
You're very funny.
machete me and all
Why
that.
do you
So
want to do such a thing? I
so
mean, even the bag.
when I saw my negotiations, were not working, I had to leave. I walked to a stop and followed the kicking napep that took me down.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, and I didn't have money. I told them I had just been robbed, so they didn't collect money from me, and that's how I got home. And yeah,
You had your own quiet time too.
by the time I got home, I looked at my hand. When they were hitting me with the machete, those things were really sharp. So they had made some slices on my hand.
Yeah.
It's
So it's just a lot,
horrible.
really. It's just a lot.
This is just a few of them. What about the times we, would wake up at night to gunshots, It's all
Yeah,
those crazy
I
nights,
remember.
those crazy,
I
crazy
remember there
nights.
was a particular night, the night
Mm.
that the military people were
Yeah, the
fighting with the
fighting some Okada
boys,
boys and
and I
all
was
that.
actually thinking about running out. Do you
Yeah,
remember?
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
told you
yeah,
that I think we should
yeah.
all run
No, no.
out, and you were
Yeah.
asking, okay, if we run,
Where do we go to? What if
if
we
we
run into
run into
them?
them, you
Yeah,
know,
so what happened was that we were just sleeping, then we just woke
woke
up
up
to
to
gunshot,
gunshots.
sporadic gunshot, pop, 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 and it wasn't stopping. So my wife was just panicking, and she said she wanted to run out. She didn't want people to come and meet us in the house. Like, you need to understand what is happening, From my mindset, whenever there's chaos like that, you need to know so you don't actually run into the
Run into
problem.
them.
So I thought, and I luckily got my phone. I started calling uh,
A neighbor,
neighbors,
yeah, just to find out
particularly
what was going on.
our house was at the end of the close. So I was calling those guys whose house were closer to the entrance of the close.
Yeah,
So I called some, and one eventually picked up and explained to me that a fight between the mobile
military
and military guys
and
and the
the
Okada boys,
boys.
the Aboki Okada boys in the estate. And of course, they continued to, they said somebody was killed in
Yeah,
that stuff. So, you have that. Then what about the Lekki period?
I beg it. Let's just leave that
The
story. Let's just leave
The
that
Lekki
story
one
because that story is
is that
a bit controversial, but
okay?
we know that things happened. At
Yeah.
least we've been able to share our own stories,
Mm.
why we left. But all these stories summed up to how our trauma,
Yeah.
got built up, and we just, I don't know what your experience was. For me, there were nights I couldn't sleep. Once I wake up by about 2 a.m., I'm
Mm.
unable to sleep until about 5. I'm not sure you remember, but I was really, really traumatized after the NSAS. I don't want to go into the story of NSAS. Those that know already know. But for me, after the NSAS, I had it to this point, and I just told myself, or we just told ourselves, that we have just had enough. We've had
Yeah.
enough of these things.
That we
It's
can't just
time.
continue living
Yeah,
this way.
it's time for us to move on.
Mm.
So yeah. So
Yeah,
this is
this is one of
part
the
one.
reasons. This is part one.
Part one of
This is
why we
part one.
left,
Oh,
talking
oh.
about these insecurities. So I think we should wrap it up at this
Yeah.
point.
So catch you on the next one. We'll be
Yeah.
talking about other reasons
Why we
left
left.
Niger. So
Yeah. See
cheers.
you.
Bye.
Bye.